What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Moon Knight issue number 21. The last we had seen is the Hitmen, a pair of brainwashed assassins targeting Moon Knight, him and all of his former network of informants. They were able to kill several of them before Moon Knight was able to stop them, with the Hitmen receiving their commands from a mysterious ghost on the telephone. Moon Knight was unable to uncover any more before he turned the two over to his therapist. And then you have Moon Knight requesting the aid of Blade, because Moon Knight would like Reese to have a little bit of training. Not having any vampires around that could probably train her, Moon Knight had turned to Blade to help Reese navigate her new life as she has recently been turned into a vampire. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so this story, it is picking us up 4 hours ago. Reese and Soldier, they decided that they were gonna go out dancing. Now, Soldier's not really a dancer, he's not even really a going out person, but they work together day in and day out. Reese has been trying to get Soldier to go out and do anything besides midnight mission business. Finally being able to convince him to do so, the two of them, they take their fill-in of blood. They take as much as they can possibly eat. The first rule of being a responsible vampire: you don't go hang out around humans without having a full stomach, making sure that both of them are well topped off. They wait outside the midnight mission for Shannon and Teddy, two other vampires that they have decided to go out dancing with. As they hug, they handshake, they all greet one another. This is where the taxi cab pulls up, and we have Jake. Everybody hopping into the car, Jake says that he is going to take them wherever they need to go. While in the car, Reese and Jake have a conversation, simply asking how Mark is doing right now, because Mark is a little bit angry about what happened with the Shadow Cabinet to Dr. Plesko. And so far, they have theorized that maybe this was Zodiac. Jake and Steven have been asking around seeing what may shake out, but it does seem like a coincidence that they had sent Dr. Plesko to check up on Zodiac, and then not long after, Dr. Plesko wound up dead. But Jake tells them to not worry about any of this, that they are going out dancing today, they are living life to the fullest. And Jake just so happens to know every single bouncer in town, which means they can get into any club that they choose. And Reese goes on to talk about how this is the stuff that she used to do. Back before she was a vampire, she used to go out clubbing all the time. But now as a vampire, this is a much different experience. She is able to see in the dark. She can smell the life in every person around her. She can hear the blood in their veins. She can feel every clench of their heart. And she could also hear every human body responding to the music, heartbeats aligning to the bass, shaking their blood, rattling their lungs. It is almost a euphoric experience for her. It almost reminds her that she doesn't have a heartbeat herself. And while everybody is dancing, having a great time, we see Soldier, who is kinda trying to dance, but this isn't really his thing, with Reese forcing him onto the dance floor, saying that he takes orders from her today. And you have to remember, when it comes to Soldier, he is ex-Hydra. He has got beat up by a whole lot of people. Zodiac gave him one hell of a beating, and then he was killed by Zodiac, now ending up as a vampire. The only thing that he knows is duty. To be honest, nobody even knows his real name. Everybody just calls him Soldier. Reese believes that this is no way to live life, whether you are dead or not. That is why they took him dancing. And while they were having such a fantastic time, when they look over at the DJ, they see some people pulling the DJ away. Not understanding what is happening, they know that this can't be good. That is when they see a masked individual putting some kind of new record onto the turntables. This is when every human in this place, they begin to freak out. It didn't do anything to the vampires, but that sound that came out of that record, it made all the humans scream in pain, and then it made each of them all turn on each other, each of them trying to kill the person next to them. With our vampires trying to figure out what the heck is happening, Reese is concluding that it has to be the music, that they have to stop it. This is when from the skylight, we have Moon Knight, who comes in to crash this party. With Reese asking what he is doing here, Moon Knight says that he just wanted to make sure the two of them were safe. The plan is to fight their way out, that Moon Knight and Soldier can clear the path. But Reese is telling him that these are innocent people, that they don't want to hurt them, and the more blood that is spilled, the more likely one of the vampires may have a freak out. And so this is where Reese suggests doing something that she had learned from Blade. Concentrating very hard for a moment, we see her turn into smoke. She turns into a vapor. All she has to do is think about it, and it will happen. It is truly that simple. This is where we cut back to a moment with Blade letting her know that it really is that easy. But letting go like that, to let your molecules really dissipate, it is the easiest thing in the world. The hard part is bringing it all back together. There is always the possibility that she could turn into smoke and blow away forever, with Blade informing her that you better keep your wits about you, because the vampire unlifes. They've got plenty of fun tricks, but it plays for keeps. And so with her turning into smoke, she makes her way to the front stage. She makes her way to the turntables. Reforming herself, she crushes the records, letting them know that it is over. This masked individual says that it has just begun. One of them taking a shot at Reese. She gets hit in her shoulder, but there are no stakes, no silver, so she is going to be fine. She was the lucky one. At least 6 people died, dozens more had been injured, and it would have been a lot worse had it not been for her and Moon Knight's intervention. This is what takes us to present day. The therapist, Moon Knight, and Reese all having this conversation, recapping the events that had happened. And Reese lets us know that maybe it was Zodiac, but it wasn't targeted. This wasn't for Soldier, this wasn't for Reese or Teddy or Shannon. Nobody even knew that they were gonna be at this location. Jake had just decided on a whim to take them to this club. They were there by accident, but she does think that it is connected. The ones who had killed the friends of Moon Knight, they had been brainwashed by the ghost in the telephone. The people at the party were driven crazy by a record. Someone is experimenting using sound as a control weapon. And tonight was just a test. It is proof of concept, which means one thing. There is going to be another one. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, they're being very vague on who this person is. This very well could be a new villain, and I truly think that it is. But I also believe that it's gotta be connected to Zodiac in some way, shape, or form. Now, we saw the doctor friend of Moon Knight going in to do an interview with Zodiac to figure out exactly what's going on in his head, what he might have planned, all of that information. But Zodiac was making lots of threats, specifically to Moon Knight and anybody associated with him. We have seen this individual now using some kind of sound experiment to control people, drive them mad, and kill anybody within their vicinity. Maybe this is just a test so they can try and free Zodiac. But like Reese said, this has to be all connected. This is all intertwined within one another. And though it is very cloak and dagger right now, in the next following issues, they are slowly but surely going to release not only what Zodiac's overall plot is, but also the individuals that he finds himself working with. Now, me personally, I would like to see a little more of Blade. Now, I was super excited to see him in the one-shot. I am very excited to see him actively working to train Reese. We don't know how long this training's gonna go on for or exactly what he is going to be able to teach her. He is not 100% vampire himself, which means he doesn't have all of the skills and abilities that come with being a vampire to the fullest extent. And there is a line that is currently ongoing that has to do with Blade and his daughter. And I did read the first issue and it wasn't hitting for me. It's not what I expected at all. You know, I was really hoping to focus on the fact that Blade is literally the sheriff of Vampire Nation, that he is working with Dracula on a day in and day out basis. And with Moon Knight having so much to do with vampires, at least currently, I'm really hoping that Blade is going to start playing a bigger part. Nonetheless, this Moon Knight issue was fun. It drives the plot forward. It lets us know exactly what direction that we're headed in and what we might be able to expect in the next coming issues. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Moon Knight, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.